See, when you're burning incense, never, ever, ever blow the flame out. Same with candles. Don't ever blow the flame out, because the second the flame connects to the wick or the incense, you have an instant phone line to your ancestors. So when you blow it out, you're blowing out your connection to your ancestors. What you do, what you're supposed to do to put out the flame, to put it out once it's lit, is to wave it like a wand. The word wand means to move swiftly. They think it's a Viking word, wand. So you light the incense and you go like that to put out the flame, and then let it burn. Don't, when, with the lighter and that, don't blow it out with your mouth. The same with the candle. Never ever blow anything out with your mouth when it comes to a flame, because it's cutting off your connection to your ancestors. But when you wave it like a wand, right, whoop, all that smoke and that, it keeps the connection there. It keeps your ancestors in the atmosphere, in the ethers, which is when you're going through your sixth stage of ascension, ethers. This is when you're ready to connect to your ancestors, and the way you were raised with your religions and faiths, and you might start learning about your Viking history and paganism, or discover that you came from druids, or you might be Catholic or whatever, but it doesn't matter. They all made burnt offerings. But you never, ever, ever blow the flame out with your mouth. Wave it. And with the candle, like you can you spit and put it out, or you can use one of those candle cover things to put it out, or you can wave something in front of the flame to put it out, like if it's a tea light candle or something like that, but never, ever, ever blow it. Okay? So that's just a wee lesson for you. There's a reason why First Nations people read the smoke and that, because they know their ancestors are there. It's kind of like, in Mission Impossible and that, when they'd spray the stuff and it would show the red beam, like if they were breaking into banks, or, in movies where they'd break into banks or whatever, and they'd spray the water or whatever, and it would show where the laser beams were. It's like that, the beast with red eyes. How all First Nations, Indigenous people have some sort of mythological creature that has red eyes, and I explained about what the beast with red eyes means. Well, all Indigenous people are like that. So when we have that connection to the flame, and especially like the smoke that comes off, like, the wood that we burn, or, like Palo Santo, for example, and reading smoke, everybody knows about First Nations people, Mesoamerican people, and their smoke signals and reading smoke and all of that. So it's because we know that it's kind of like, it's like spraying water on the laser beam. When we light that flame, it sparks something in the atmosphere for us that turns our second sight on, our owl vision, so to speak, or wolf vision, or buffalo vision, or stag vision, because they all have the ability to, see through the veil, so to speak, they see the ancestors, all of that. Cats and dogs do as well. 85% of their day is spent being surrounded by our ancestors. So that's why they can act a bit weird. So, yeah, never blow it out with your mouth. In an emergency, absolutely. But the second you get back, the second, you're able to relight it, well, actually, that's the thing. If you have to blow it out with your mouth, don't ever use that candle again. In an emergency, if you have to blow it out with your mouth, it's fine, but you can never use that candle again. You will have to use another candle. And it can't be of the same colour. And when you're connecting to your ancestors, obviously, the black candle is going to be the one that you want to burn. If you want the connection to be stronger, I mean, or at its strongest. But please remember that if you're not ready to have that kind of access, don't be surprised if things go wrong, and it's not a punishment, it's a lesson. You're not allowed to have access to these sort of things and this sort of knowledge if your ancestors haven't okayed it, if you haven't ascended far enough yet. You have to earn the right, because access to your ancestors, it's why we have ascensions, it's a step-by-step process. We have to earn the right to just be able to see and connect with our ancestors on a historical genetic level before we're even allowed access to the creation frequency in its full imaginative, creative, intuitive glory. This sort of stuff is a privilege, not a right. You have to earn the right to have the privilege. So if you don't listen and you accrue karmic debt, that's on you. But if you do listen and you know you're not ready to know this stuff, if it still gives you a bit of fear, dabbling in, the darker side of faith, and it is, the word occult means secrets of the hidden, or knowledge of the hidden, knowledge of that which is kept secret. Because, with religion and that, it's all out there. They don't hold no bones about what it is they're trying to achieve from their followers and their worship and all of that. But when it comes to the occult, there is so much that even religion isn't allowed to know, that God puts people like me and my bloodline, we're the only ones that are allowed to have that kind of access. Because we're the ones that have been making the sacrifices through the generations, unlike, the Illuminati and that. They make a different kind of sacrifice. It's us they sacrifice. It's my people that the Illuminati sacrificed, from the Irish to the Scottish to the French to the Spanish to the to the Mesoamerican to the indigenous. It's my people, it's my ancestors that have made the biggest sacrifice. We were kings. We were kings and queens and chieftains, and we were knights. We were knighted. We have castles. We have places in forests and that, Fraser Forest, Fraser Castle, Al Rashid Airport, Al Rashid Hospital. We have places named after us. So we've lost a lot. And so we've earned the right for them to create a descendant in me who would be the one that would be allowed to have access, because we're the ones that sacrificed the most for the right to believe in what we wanted to. So don't use this stuff if it gives you fear, if it makes you nervous, if you have to look up anything I say because you doubt my word and that you're not ready. So don't participate. Only do it when you're ready. When I refer to this being the darker side of your faith, it's because that if you get this wrong, you will descend. If you get this wrong, you will accrue so much karmic debt that it will start to show on, in your life. The suffering and the karmic retribution will start to become evident in your life. It will be obvious that you did things that you shouldn't have. And if it's bad enough, then it attacks your mental health and then your physical body. And then before you know it, you've got addictions, or you're needing medication to fight the depression and the what they'll call it, psychosis and schizophrenia and all of that. And in some cases it might be, but in 99.9% of most cases, it's because you didn't listen to your intuition and let your faith guide you. And your faith has nothing to do with God. Your faith has everything to do with trusting and believing that the universe and your ancestors, whatever you believe, that the world, that life is putting the right people in your path to help you become the best version of yourself now in this life. So I don't do this stuff because I think I'm better than anyone else. I do this stuff because I know what I'm talking about, and in my career, in my entire lifetime, I have seen way too many people kill themselves, or want to kill themselves, or get locked up in mental hospitals, or prisons, or in debt so far up to their eyeballs that they take to drink, or addictions, whatever it is they have to do, self-punishment, fetishes, whatever, self-loathing, whatever it is that they do to themselves to punish themselves for not listening is what's going to happen. That's hell on earth. Hell is the life that you create by making the wrong decisions in life. And people like me are here to try and help you make the right decisions in life so that you never sink that low, that I then have to come in and go deep in order to find you and bring you out again. Because that's what I'm trying to do with the children. I don't have time to do that with the adults. So I'm trying to show you what to do, because too many people are getting this wrong, and they are a contributing factor to why the world is in the state that it's in. So we all, every single one of us, have to take personal responsibility for our own actions, and that includes things like, if you're going to dabble in the occult, do it right. Do it where it is helping you progress, because you have to remember that Satan, or the dark side, or the antimatter, whatever it is you believe that punishes you, protects the pure and innocence, protects balance. And if you're being offered the guidance in order to be a better version of yourself and ascend your ancestors and pass on incredible blessings and that to your descendants and all of that, and you don't listen, then that's on you, and then you're going to get punished for it as far as he's concerned, because Satan's not about going after everybody. He's about going after the people who got it wrong. And just like, how blessings vary depending on how much karmic savings you've accrued in the bank of the universe, so to speak, the same goes for karmic debt the other way. And when you are willingly choosing to do things that you know are going to lead you down a dark path, and you keep continuing to do it, that's a whole pile of sin in Satan's eyes, or on the scales of judgment, because only an idiot walks away from the opportunity to better their life. It's just the reason why people choose not to do it is because it's a harder path. Taking the high road means you have to go uphill. Taking the low road means that gravity does it for you. So I'm here to pull you up the mountain, but you have to pedal. I'm not pedaling for you. So, I've thrown the rope down. It's up to you to climb it. But be it on your head if you don't listen. But if you do listen, then even though it means that you're going to have to make decisions you don't want to make, even though it means that you're going to have to look at yourself in ways that you don't want to look at yourself, even though it means that you're going to have to forgive things that people have done to you, even though karmically they need to suffer for what they did and all of that. Like, if you listen to me and do the work, then I promise you, you are not going to regret it, and you'll kick yourself for thinking, why the hell didn't I listen sooner? Because when you're in the ether stage, it's like you're floating on air. It's like you're carried, as long as you don't fight it. Just like allow yourself to go through the slipstream of, your rising ancestors and all that, which is like, they make up part of the council of elders. When you ride in their slipstream, it's the most incredible feeling. It is the greatest high you could ever have. The closest thing you'll get to it are the people who take DMT or have a DMT release, and have access to the creation frequency, because then not only do you have this incredible feeling of peace and balance and love and support and all of that, but then you get to feel the love, like from a physical perspective, and it's in such a way, when people die and they step into the light and then they come back and they say, I felt so much love, blah blah blah, and that they wanted to go back, they didn't want to leave where they were. That's the creation frequency. Once you get a taste of that, it's better than a drug. It makes you higher than a drug. When you have access to the creation frequency, that buzz that you get from just that overwhelming sense of love, and the power that comes from that love, from everything that's been waiting for you to finally connect with them and all of that, it's like bugger alcohol. Like, why would you need heroin when you can just better yourself and get that natural high for free? All you have to do is dump some baggage and look in a mirror and do some crying and trust the people that are comforting you. Even if you don't know them, even if you have no one in your life and it's my voice and my videos that are bringing you that comfort, then that's why we were here. That's why you and I were brought together, because you're not going through it alone. You're not as in this by yourself as what you think, because I went through it to figure it out. God put me here to figure it out. He knew, my ancestors knew they'd created a brain in a child who was going to figure it out, so that I could handle the answers to everybody else out there who is also ascending and terrified because they don't understand what's going on with them and why things are happening, and thinking they're being punished and all of that, and it's not, it's lessons. So I'm here with the answers. I'm the teacher handing you the answers, and it's not cheating. It's just I don't have time to raise adults. I want to concentrate on the children. Please, thank you. So I'm just going to give you the cheat sheet. And then obviously when I get my foundation up and running, I will be able to take you on shows, and I'm going to make my own incense, and I make my own candles and sprays and all that. So I'm going to show you how to do it properly. So when I say get rid of your crystals and do not use things like Palo Santo, listen to me, please. Because even on a microcosmic scale, everything going wrong in your life and in the lives of the people that are around you is because of you. You're playing your part in that, like a flip butterfly effect. You're playing a part in everything that's happening on Earth, and then on a macrocosmic level, you're helping mold and shape the universe. So you need to get this right. We all need to be getting this right. So I came down like a comet to Earth to, shake the ground, wake people up. My strangeness and weirdness, my apparently mysterious nature. I don't know why people think I'm mysterious. I think I'm as open as a book, but apparently not. Apparently people can't figure me out, and yet I'm literally the most open person on the planet. But apparently I'm not. But anyway, I'll be able to show you. I'll have my radio shows. I will have my live shows where you'll be able to type. Join my membership, all of that. You'll be able to type questions in that, and I'll be able to answer them, and we'll be able to work on this together. Even if it's just for like an hour a week, I will spare the time to help you all get through this. I'll be walking right beside you, whether you know me or not, whether you have support around you or not. You'll have me, and you'll have my shows. And then, when you are feeling confident enough, and this is all over for me, and I start doing my talent shows and that, if I come near your towns, or you're able to get to me and you think that, you want to finally get up on stage and play that guitar or play that violin or recite that Shakespeare, or, well, it wouldn't be Shakespeare, it would be lines from one of my movies that you were auditioning for or whatever. When you're ready to give it your all and that, we can meet. That would be so cool. And then you can audition. But don't yell at me if you don't get through. Because it's nothing personal. It's just that all my characters, and I know my sons will feel the same, like they're like our children, they're personal to us. So, like, putting emotions and loyalty aside, if the voice or whatever it is you're offering isn't what any of those that created our characters have in mind for their personality and stuff like that, or the voice is wrong or something like that, it's not personal. It's just that these are our children, these are our babies, and getting it right with us is going to make a huge difference in whether we're able to make a big enough profit that we can keep the dragonariums open. So it's not personal, I promise. It's because you weren't, that's not your destiny, it's not your path. It means you're destined for something else. That's all it is. So I'm just thinking though, with the auditions, whether if we did it in theatres, like small theatres and all of that, if we should open the doors to the public, because then if we did that, we'd need security. We'd definitely need security. I'm going to need someone who's like advertising, marketing, like tour managing, kind of the people responsible for, selling the tickets and all of that. Not, I was going to say, not that you would be paying for them, it's just to know how many, because like if we only sell 2 tickets, what's the point of doing well, not sell, if we only give away 2 tickets, what's the point of doing it there? Do you know what I mean? Because like I don't want to be a dick and swan up and no one's there and we just hear crickets and tumbleweed. But at the same time, like, if it's going to be a packed house, I need to know how many security to put on the doors and down the aisles and to protect the judges like me in that, because I know what goes on. Some of these people get shot. So we can't have that happening, because I've already put my life on the line way too many times to start having to worry about getting shot because I'm trying to give kids hope for the future. So so please listen to my advice, listen to Auntie Pearl. It's Pearls of Wisdom, Pearl's advice column radio show. If she ends up like being, because I have this idea of her sitting in a chair as well, and like, sitting reading letters with like little glasses on, being all like, wise, because her advice comes from, it's ancient advice. She's a descendant of the Witch of Endor, and her, the matriarchal bloodline is a witch that is revered so greatly by God that he talks about it in the Bible. she's actually recommended by name. You know, because what she conjured, what she saw in the fire, um, it changed everything for a king. So, made him a great king. And like him, and there's so many kings in the Bible, like Solomon, who were granted access to the supernatural in such a way that, like, he was the most wealthy but most balanced, fair king. Like, he was a good man, and he got blessed with all these riches, and he was very humble about it. And you know, he was a good man, and so, you know, God granted him all those blessings and rewards. And that, and ascension is the same thing. It's just that you might not, I mean, it might not come in the form of King Solomon's level, but you will receive your riches. It's going to be in whatever way that makes you the happiest you could ever possibly be. And for me, it's getting to create and be around children and inspire people, and get to eat and look and soak myself up in the atmosphere that I helped create. I want to just sit back and enjoy the food and enjoy the music and enjoy the art and the movies and the books and the stories along with everybody else. That's my goal, that's my riches, because then I know I did it. Then I know that I achieved everything I was put on this planet to do. When I get to that point, when I'm sitting in that park watching the kids put on their concerts, and I know my sister's taken care of, and I know my boys are happy, and I know that people are getting paid, and we've got money coming in, and people are loving what we're putting out and wanting to be a part of it and embracing all of it, then I know that my weirdness paid off. It pays off to be a freak, geek, nerd, dork, or weirdo. And I'm going to be the goddess of that empire. And I'll have my little freaks, geeks, nerds, dorks, and weirdos following like little baby ducks behind me, you know, as I show them how to embrace their weirdness and, you know, fly our freak flag. So I need to invent a freak cookie. I'll have a talk to Gabriel about that today, because on all our businesses, on our physical buildings, we're going to be flying our freak flag and the flag of whatever country we're in at the time. Well, at the time, and the flag of whatever country we're allowed to build in. So, yeah, it means they embrace their weirdo too. So, okay, I'm going to go and have myself a coffee. I'm just getting ready to go out and grab my boys as soon as they wake up. I'm so excited. And I will speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.